Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In the previous session we discussed about Terraform dependencies. Basically, there are two types of dependencies in Terraform, which is called implicit dependency and explicit dependency. So to continuation of that, today we are going to see in practically how we are going to implement implicit dependency. So for that we are taking AWS EC2 and Elastic IP. Okay, so before going to start this, we have to install some dependencies which is called Terraform and AWS CLI, and finally we need to configure the AWS with access key and secret key and what is the default region and default output. Okay, called Terraform and how to install AWS CLI and finally how to configure it. So for this we have already uploaded the video. If anyone have any doubt, can you please go through that video. You can come to know how to install Terraform, how to install AWS CLI and how to configure it. Okay, I have captured the code for implicit dependency and I told we have taken EC2 instance and Elastic IP for implementing the implicit dependency. Okay, so here there are three blocks are there. One is called provider block and another one is called a resource block which is called EC2 instance, and the third one is called another resource block which is called Elastic IP address. Okay, so if you go to that third block which is called EIP which is called Elastic IP addresses, which is the type of AWS resources, and I am giving the name is called test underscore Elastic IP. Okay, now for this we have only one important keyword which is called instance. Okay, basically this blocks creates an Elastic IP and this is where it must be attached to a specific EC2 server. So the question here is, what is that instance or server? Why? Because Terraform needs to know which EC2 instance ID this Elastic IP should attach to. Now in the code I wrote create a EC2 instance and attach or apply an Elastic IP addresses to that server. Since you don't manually know that instance ID, Terraform automatically understand it through the references. That is where the keyword comes into the picture, which is called instance is equal to AWS underscore instance dot test dot ID, which is called keyword. Okay, this tells Terraform take the instance ID from the EC2 resource and attach the Elastic IP here. So whenever Terraform sees one resource depending on another resource attribute, this is called implicit dependency. There is no manual dependency written, but Terraform understands the link through attribute. This is called attribute. Basically, when you run Terraform plan, it will say I need to create the instance first, capture the instance ID and then replace that value here to create the Elastic IP. Okay, so now in order to create the Elastic IP, Terraform must know the instance ID first. Of course, this is also automated way. We are not doing anything in the manual. This type of connection is pretty much the beauty of Terraform. Despite of multiple technical hurdles, Terraform handle the order of creation smoothly. Okay, let's see practically how we are going to create this implicit dependency. Now this is the server. See, this is the code which we have discussed before. So I have captured provider block, resource block and Elastic IP resource block. So let's execute the commands now. Terraform init. So it is going to initialize the workspace. That means what and all dependencies or what and all plugins are required, which are download, and it will keep into the workspace. Okay, now this is successfully initialized. Then after that we have to do Terraform validate. It will check whether the configurations are valid or not. Okay, so once this is done, we will go for Terraform format as well. That means if any syntax issues, that will be formatted. Okay, there are no syntax issues. Okay, then make sure we are going to do for Terraform plan. That means it will create the plan. See, now there are two resources it is going to create now. Plan is equal to 2. Okay, so next command is you are going to do for apply. Terraform apply, and here there are two commands are there. If you do Terraform apply, it is asking the confirmation. Instead of that, we can provide auto approve also. So here you can watch the order. I have given the confirmation. Now it is going to Terraform will create the instance first and then eventually create the Elastic IP, because the Elastic IP is the child and the instance is the parent. So that's what, now see here the order. So it's created that EC2 instance first and take that instance ID and then create the Elastic IP and attach that Elastic IP to instance ID. Okay, during the creation time, the first thing is instance will be created and the next thing is Elastic IP will be created and attached. Now let's go and see that AWS dashboard. Now refresh this. See here, implicit dependency is our instance. It has created, and you can go a bit down. See here, Elastic IP address is created and attached. So if we create and attach the Elastic IP address, then the instance IP should not be changed. Okay, so this is about creation time. During the deletion time, the order may be reverses, because Elastic IP, which is child, will be destroyed first, and then instance, which is called EC2 server, is the parent, that gets deleted later. Why? Because the child cannot exist without parent. Okay, so here the important thing is Elastic IP is also a public IP. However, both are not the same. Why? Because public IP is given automatically by the AWS. If you start the EC2 instance, the public IP being changed. Where Elastic IP is the permanent public IP, it won't change even if the instance restart, start, stop also, it won't change actually. So that is where Elastic IP becomes a useful, but remember AWS will charge for unused Elastic IPs. So after you practice, you just delete it since you are using free tier. Okay, so let's see. I have created, now I am going to destroy now. Let's see the order. When you say yes, the touch point of dependency will be decided that order. So that means which will be deleted first? The child will be deleted, C, which is called Elastic IP. Then after that, the instance is destroyed. So this is the correct sequence. Why? Because Elastic IP depends on the instance. Okay, so the conclusion is Terraform uses implicit dependencies to understand resource relationships. Instance is created first, Elastic IP attached next. On destroy part, Elastic IP deleted first, instance deleted next. EIP is a stable public IP, however it is chargeable. if unused also. So these concepts remove a lot of pain points and help with better agility in automation part. So if you are keen on mastering Terraform, this is one of the main touch point you must understand, and there is no need to parking unnecessary doubts. The flow is pretty much straightforward. So now see, if you go to that dashboard, if you refresh here, see, instance is going to be destroyed. See, let's watch. Okay, even if you go to that Elastic IPs also, we can able to see it. Even if you can see here Elastic IP, nothing is there. Okay, see, no Elastic IP is available. Thanks for watching. So if you have any doubts, could you please comment in my channel.